Hey everybody, my name is Ellie and welcome to my channel. I love making wallpapers, and for the last couple of years I've had people pay me to make them. These are some examples that I did recently. So let's talk about the stuff that you'll need in order to make a collage wallpaper. And lucky for you, all the tools that we're about to use in this video are completely free. Today we're going to be mainly focusing on using Pinterest and Canva. What's great about these apps too is that you don't have to download an app if you don't want to. They do have that option, but they can be used in browser as well. So firstly, we're gonna want to find all the images that we want to put in our collage wallpaper. I recommend beginning on Pinterest. I like to use VSCO as well sometimes, but I think with Pinterest, all the photos are very searchable, so they're a lot easier to find than on VSCO. I find one thing to help, especially with mood boards, is that you wanna list out all of your goals that you have for that year or whatever you wanna represent on that mood board. It could be things like working out, or it could be things like you want to travel more or spend more time with friends. Things like that that will really help you have some terms to search into Pinterest. So follow along with me, and we're going to be using Pinterest and searching different terms in order to find the pictures that we want. I'm also putting them all into one board, so I'm going to leave that link below in the description where you can look at all the photos that I'm saving in case you want to use any for your own wallpaper. Okay, so first we're going to start with Pinterest. I have it loaded here, and first, I'm going to search for pictures just on my home feed in order to start the new board that we're starting. So the first term that I'm going to look up for is, I've been really into strawberries lately and I want to incorporate them more into my daily food and breakfasts that I have. So I'm going to look up strawberries. But the thing is, with Pinterest, to really get an aesthetic photo, you always have to add aesthetic after. That's always gonna make you get a better search result in my opinion. So I really like this picture here, and I'm going to create a board, and I'm gonna name it Ellie's mood board. And now we have a board that we can save everything to. So from our beginning list of goals, one of them was working out. So I'm gonna look for aesthetic photos about working out that I can include in my collage wallpaper. Working out. Aesthetic. So I'm liking all these photos about Pilates and working out. And I'm just scrolling through and finding something that I feel like really resonates with me. So I like this photo here, and I'm gonna add it to my Ellie's mood board. I'm gonna search for some other photos as well that I think match with that. Another thing I want to do more of is journaling, so I'm gonna look up journal aesthetic as well. Another thing that I think really helps is picking a color theme that you want to do. So it could be something like you want all pink photos or all blue photos. Another option you can do is rainbow. So if you begin with red colors, you can shift through the rainbow until you get to pictures that are like more blue. And then that way you can align all your photos at the end to be shifting from red to blue. And then sometimes you're not always gonna find the photo that you want with just 2 words. So it's good to also introduce some other keywords into your search in order to find a better fitting photo. So I'm gonna add diary as well to this. Okay, I'm liking this photo, so I'll save it to my mood board. Now, I also want you to remember that this is a creative process, so however you feel best to get into that creative mindset, feel free. I always like to have a glass of some kind of liquid that I can drink. Could be like juice or tea or coffee, something like that. And then I also like to put some music on the background as well, just to kind of get me in the vibe of going through Pinterest and looking through these pictures and just kind of putting myself into these photos that I can really relate with, that I want on my collage wallpaper. Okay, and then now just as the last one, I'm gonna look for different kinds of travel photos. So I'm gonna look up travel aesthetic. I'm gonna add in airplane window because I want something specific to that. Okay, I'm really liking this one with the different clouds, so I'm gonna throw that into the Ellie's mood board. And then I'm just gonna repeat this process for all the different things in my goal list and then find photos that work for them. I'm aiming for about 20 to 25 photos for this kind of collage. Okay, great. So now we have a whole board full of all the photos that we feel like really reflects us as an individual and just something that we think are aesthetic photos that we want to put all together into a collage. So these are the photos that I have, but now the fun part comes into where we can actually put everything into Canva. So what we're gonna wanna do is download every single image that we have on this mood board. It does take a while, but that's how we're gonna get everything into Canva. So what you're gonna do is click on the photo, click the 3 dots, and then click download image. And that's gonna put it onto your laptop. I suggest putting in a folder that you wanna put everything in. So we're gonna do in the folder called Pinterest, and then save all the photos into there. Okay, so now we have all the photos downloaded and we're gonna jump into Canva where we're gonna start to put everything onto the board. Now, it's really important when you start your canvas in Canva that you wanna choose the right dimensions that work for your wallpaper. So if you're doing something with your phone or your laptop, those are gonna be different dimensions from each other because one is vertical and the other one is horizontal. So I'm gonna put on the screen just some different dimensions. Feel free to pause and read it and find out which dimensions work best for your device. If your device isn't up here, feel free to do a Google search on it as well. And also, this is where you kind of want to think how many photos you want on your wallpaper. And then another free tool that I like to use here is remove.bg, which removes backgrounds off of a photo. So in case you want to do any more overlapping or abstract shapes rather than just squares or circles, things like that, then feel free to use remove.bg in order to have some photos stand out more than others. I'm going to be doing a desktop wallpaper, so that one is 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. So when I do create a design up here, I'm going to do custom size and then type in that dimension there. And then create new design. Okay, sweet. Now we have the canvas all set up. Then we're gonna go to uploads and upload all the photos that you grabbed from Pinterest and put them all into Canva. And then I'm just gonna select them all and then just put them onto the screen. And this is where you just wanna start resizing them and kind of putting them in different places around the screen, seeing what works best for you. You can also change the background color and then give yourself a border if that's something that you're interested in, or you can just fill up the entire page with all different kinds of collage pictures. So one thing I like to do within Canva as well is I weirdly like to cut off all the girls' heads if I can. The reason being, this kind of helps me more relate to the person because they don't have a face and they're not like another person. And it's more that I can think that like I'm one of these girls and that's me in the photo rather than it being someone else's face. But it just helps me kind of visualize my mood board a little bit more because it looks like I could be in it. And yeah, just a great thing about Canva is that you can resize everything. So for example, this bouquet of tulips, if I double click on that, it'll let me crop the photo. So there's a little bit of words down here. So I'm gonna crop that here. And I'm gonna press enter and that's gonna crop the photo officially for me. I can also spin the picture too if I want it to fill a different kind of space. And then I can also use the up and down and left and right arrows to really move it around finely in order to get it right at the corner or in a certain place that I want to overlap specifically. And also one of the best things about making your own collage wallpaper is that you can actually include photos of yourself because it's all digital. So if you have any photos that you really like that you've taken personally, you can upload those as well and include them in your mood board. And it just makes everything seem a lot more realistic and something achievable. Okay, so I'm gonna include this picture of me that my sister took when we were kayaking together. So I'm just gonna crop it so it's gonna fit, press enter, and then put it into my collage. So at this point in the process, it looks a little bit everywhere, but this is where you can kind of refine the collage and just kind of move things around, see where you like it. And then this is one of my biggest tricks that I find that really makes a cohesive collage. And that is actually editing the photos to be color shifted a certain way. So in this case, I'm gonna try and color shift everything to be a little bit more pink. All right, so how we're gonna do this, we're gonna single click on the image and then select edit image. There we're gonna go to the duotone effect. And since we're going for pink, we're gonna click on this pink color. Now don't worry, it's not gonna totally look that pink, but we're gonna click on C controls and reduce the intensity down to about 0.25. Each photo is going to be different for the amount that you want to shift it to that color, depending on what color it already is. When you start to do it to all the photos, then they're going to have a certain shift tint and it's all going to look a lot more cohesive. Alright, so this is an example of a collage wallpaper that I did previously. So in this case, I did borders around the entire wallpaper. And in this example, I didn't color shift the photos, but this is just something to show you that there are other options. So now in order to save that wallpaper, I'm gonna go to share and then download. I tend to download just as a PNG, but you can also save it as a JPEG as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope these tips and tricks really helped you create your own wallpaper for yourself. And if you made a wallpaper using any of my tips, please send me a message. I would love to see what you guys create. My username on Instagram is ellieMagelli. Send me a DM and share with me what you made. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.